Hello everyone. Today we will talk about this topic. Why are beautiful girls so often lonely? You may have noticed this often, that there is a beautiful, sexy young girl. At the same time, this girl is lonely. And then you start to think that this is very strange and illogical. Since there are a lot of men, she can choose anyone to her liking. But this girl has no personal life. In fact, there is nothing strange about this. Now I will tell you everything in detail. I also recommend watching this video to those men who have an inner desire to choose a beautiful girl. That is, so that the girl was attractive with a sporty figure. In a word, a girl of model appearance. What will be the costs? As usual, I'll start from afar. I believe that every person in this life has a dark and light side. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a girl. Well, a person decides for himself which side he will choose to a greater extent. Money, power. Sometimes it changes a person in a negative way. I think there have been many such examples in your life. In fact, about the same thing happens with a beautiful girl who is popular because of her appearance. That is, a lot of attention has been paid to this girl since adolescence. That is, the girl has a huge number of guys who get to know her. Guys get to know this girl in the subway, on the street, on social networks, at university, everywhere in general. This is a huge emotional resource. What does this lead to? This leads to the fact that you do not need to give something in return. Nothing pushes this girl to do it. Let me give you a chronology. If we talk about men who do some crazy things, for example, when a man is ready to give an apartment, a car, just for the girl to reciprocate him. Why do men do this? Because these men feel inferior compared to this girl. It motivates men to be good for this girl. These men overestimate the value of this girl. These people have only one thing on their mind. To get this girl, I need to give something or do something for her. When a girl is beautiful, she has no motivation. A girl gets everything she wants in this life. For free. You can say, as a gift. In fact, it is very difficult for a girl in life. It is very difficult for her to force herself to give something in return. This girl is used to the fact that she did nothing, and the man did everything for her. In fact, the girl is not to blame for anything. Men are to blame for this situation. They taught this girl that. For this girl, it has become the norm. Just imagine a girl living like this all her life. The girl got everything she wanted from men from about the age of 14. At the same time, she didn't give anything in return. How will a girl think in her 25, 30 years? Of course, the girl will think the same. She starts from this. Suddenly, a girl meets a man she really liked. Perhaps the girl takes even a weak position in the relationship. This girl will never fall in love with an affordable and good man. In general, let's continue. The girl chose such a man, or he chose her. It does not matter. What's next? And then, internal indignation. The man begins to demand something from the girl. A man wants a girl to limit herself in some ways, obey him somewhere, and so on. This is quite normal. In the format of a serious relationship, and even more so in marriage. But the girl doesn't think so. Why? Because the girl grew up differently. No one has done this out of all the guys that have been before. Because for her previous boyfriends, it was only important that this girl was around. These guys are ready for anything. So that this girl was with them next. In this case, the guy demands something from the girl. After that, conflict situations begin. They begin to sort out their relationship. And the most interesting thing is that the girl is 100 convinced of her rightness. And everything should be exactly like this. What I'm talking about is a common case. There are cases that are very neglected. We can draw a conclusion. To avoid such situations, the girl should be pushed by something. Think about it for a second. Why would a girl give something in return if she got everything for free? For what? That is, this girl must have some kind of worldview. Can you find a beautiful girl with a normal outlook? In our modern world. Yes, there are such people, but this will be a direct exception. This is such a small percentage that it will be very difficult to find such a girl. I want to emphasize that such a girl, even if she takes a weak position in your relationship, you and she will still have disagreements, because that's how it will seem to this girl. That a man has no right to demand it, to want it all, and so on. At the same time, the man somehow restricts her. What will happen next? Why is this girl still alone? It's very simple. If a man takes a strong position in a relationship, he will look at the behavior of the girl and think, why does he need it? That's all. He will leave this girl and move on. The girl starts looking for a new man again. To be more precise, the girl begins to take men from her reserve. And again, there are people who are ready for any conditions of the girl. These men are not interesting to her. But again, the girl received confirmation that this man was wrong, a man who demanded something from her, because most men tell her that she is right and are ready to do anything for her. That is, the girl received confirmation, and then everything happens the same way. It turns out a contradiction. For this reason, you should understand that you can be in some kind of illusion, that you will find everything at once. That is, all the good qualities in one girl. In no case would I recommend the male sex to set themselves up for such thoughts, because it will be a rare occurrence. But in general, some of you had a relationship with such a girl. How long have you been experiencing this attraction? How long have you been in ecstasy? For a short time. Because something else is important next. What is your relationship? How does a girl see herself in everyday life? Maybe you don't even have anything to talk about with this girl. It's just like a sex doll. If we talk about family, then it's a completely different situation. That is, we come to the question again, why do you need a relationship? Do you even need a relationship? I am constantly trying to emphasize this. The fact is that sometimes a man is looking for entertainment, but for some reason, he starts a serious relationship. Worse, it all comes down to marriage. It will be very bad, because there is no other way. By the way, who had such girls? Write a comment. I also want to mention one more nuance. A girl who is popular sooner or later gets into a vulnerable position. This girl finds herself a man, which manages the entire flow of relationships. In the future, the man himself leaves this girl. Perhaps this happens several times in the whole life of this girl. Maybe it happens once, but the fact is that it was. After an unusual experience, the girl is at a loss because she's used to controlling everything. But in this situation, it's the opposite. After this situation, all these men whom I call comfortable, these men attract this girl even less. Sometimes you can find such statements. What if a man has money? Then he won't have any problems with girls. Let's imagine the type of girls we're talking about today. The girl will see the money and all the amenities and everything else. Everything will suit this girl, and she will be next to a man. This is utter nonsense. It's impossible, even if life events push this girl to it. For example, age, time to start a family, and so on. In fact, even this will not stimulate the girl. Even if we make an exception where similar decisions have been made, without much enthusiasm on the part of the girl, this event will not last long. I want to make an edit. I never put a brand on people. That is, I am in no way dissuading you from choosing those girls who attract you. I'm not trying to convince you to choose an ugly girl. I'm just talking about observations, certain prerequisites, probabilities. But what will you do with this information? Every man decides for himself on his own. Everyone has the right to make mistakes. perhaps someone will draw conclusions. That is, decide for yourself. If you liked this video, give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new videos. See you soon.